Welcome back to the GDPR and Data Protection Diaries. In this week's GDPR versus, we're looking at GDPR versus the role of the DPO or the Data Protection Officer. As with all videos, we're going to be looking at what the role entails, who you should be looking at to appoint in the role, and obviously what are the benefits of having a DPO within your organisation. As before, if you find this video useful, please do give us a like, give us a share, and of course if you have any comments, please feel free to add stuff down below. But for now, let's get on with the video. So a DPO, also known as a Data Protection Officer, is a role that is mandated for some organisations under the GDPR. The role of the DPO is to act as an independent advisor really within the organisation. They are there to protect the rights and freedoms of the individuals, so of the people whose information you are processing, and that includes your employees as well as your customers. But they're also there to advise the business and advise your organisation on the processing activities that you're carrying out to make sure that those processing activities are being carried out in line with the law. Now, not every organisation needs to appoint a DPO, and that's probably the first really important thing to point out when you're looking at this video, and we're going to cover that in the next section now. So when you're looking to appoint a data protection officer or you're looking to appoint a DPO, the first thing that you really need to give consideration to is whether or not you are mandated to have one within your organisation by the GDPR. The regulation does talk about public sector bodies, so if you're working in the public sector, then you have to have a DPO. But it also talks about organisations that are processing large volumes of personal data or large volumes of special category information, and those organisations should also look to have a DPO appointed. There is some further guidance on this from the European Data Protection Board, which does talk about what high levels of processing mean and what it means for high level processing of special category information. There's also some really useful guidance on when or when not to appoint a DPO that's available on the ICO website, which is www.ico.org.uk. Our recommendation is that you go and review that guidance before you make a decision as to whether or not you need to appoint a DPO within your organisation, because if you do decide to appoint a DPO, even if you are not mandated to appoint one, then by giving somebody the title of Data Protection Officer or calling them your DPO, they will still have to abide by the rules laid down within the regulation, which means that you'll have to provide them with appropriate resources, you'll have to provide them with appropriate independence, and there are a number of specific tasks laid out within the regulation that they're going to have to follow. So before you appoint a DPO and before you make that final decision, please do make sure that you go and read the guidance and make sure that the role of the DPO is right for your organisation before you take any further action. So there are a number of benefits in appointing a data protection officer. Of course, as always, the first benefit is that if you are required to have one, so if you are mandated to have one by the regulation, and of course you're going to be running in line with the GDPR, which is the first thing. For me, the role of a DPO is a really important one for organisations, because it gives you that sort of conscience, it gives you that extra set of eyes, and it gives you that independence. So there is somebody sat almost to one side that can say, I understand what you're looking to do, I understand why you're looking to do it, but actually this may not be the best activity for us to be carrying out as a business, or even that there may actually be a better way to carry out the activity and still get the same result, but without having any impact on the rights or freedoms of the individual. The role of the DPO is a really complicated one at times, because you're looking to make sure you meet the commercial desires of the business while also looking to protect the needs and the rights and freedoms of the individuals that you're working with. As I've already mentioned, not all businesses are mandated to have a DPO, so that's the first thing that you need to check. But my recommendation is always actually that it's a really good idea to have somebody appointed within your organisation, especially if you are processing reasonable amounts of personal data. They don't have to be a DPO. You can call them a data protection manager, they could be a data protection lead, but having somebody within your organisation that can support you from a data protection perspective, can help you deliver training and awareness, and just be that sort of lead contact and that lead point for the organisation to talk to, is a really beneficial role to have, even if you don't want to have somebody that's officially marked as your data protection officer. As always, if you have any questions about the role of the DPO, because there is so much more that can really be covered about this, but I am trying to make sure these videos are kept succinct. So if you do have any questions, please do get in touch. As always, you'll see the website across the bottom of the screen, and obviously you'll catch my email address at the end. So also please feel free to comment below. But that's it for this week. We look forward to catching up with you again next week. Thanks very much.